So everyone's favorite radio personality, Colin Cowherd, picks the Chicago Bears to finish second in the division this next season. Let's talk about it, people. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports all back at it with another video talking. It's Metaflow here to talk about the Chicago Bears and here to talk about Colin Cowherd on his show making his way too early NFC playoff predictions, all right? And I'll have you guys take a look here. This is what he had for the NFC North, all right? He had the Lions at 1, the Bears at 2, the Packers at 3, and the Vikings at 4, okay? And his reasoning was basically the following. The Lions have the best roster, so they're number 1. And then he said the Vikings have the worst roster, so they're number 4. And then he said, I'm not sold as much on Jordan Love as I was years past because he didn't play well against playoff teams, and the Packers felt like they kind of dialed it back on trusting Jordan Love. So that's what he said about the Packers. And then he said for the Bears, the big difference is Ben Johnson, because the jump from a good quarterback to a bad quarterback to a good quarterback, like that difference you'll feel from a bad head coach to a good head coach, going from Eberflus to Ben Johnson. So that was his reasoning. I just want to put that out there, all right? Because I want to react to it and give you guys my thoughts on this, all right? So let's just start with the Lions. I think this is clearly the easiest pick here. I know, obviously, they lost their OC and Ben Johnson, who went to the Bears. Thank you very much, Lions fans. But as far as Lions, you still have a ridiculously talented football team, right? You still have Dan Campbell, their head coach. So I don't expect the Lions to fall off here. I still think they're going to be very good. So I have them at number 1. All right. I don't think people should disagree with that or would disagree with that. Yes, their offense could come down a little bit with Ben Johnson leaving and struggle, but the talent is just too good. They're too stacked. Then the rest of the 3 teams here. Let's talk about them. We'll start with the Vikings. So the Vikings lost Sam Darnold to the Seahawks, all right? Or I shouldn't say lost. They let Sam Darnold walk, all right? I think if they wanted Sam Darnold back, they would have gotten Sam Darnold back. They are clearing the way for J.J. McCarthy. Now, I disagree with Colin when he says the Vikings have the worst roster in football. They do not. In the division. They do not. They have a ridiculously stacked roster, too. You got Justin Jefferson. You got Jordan Addison. You got T.J. Hawkinson, right? Aaron Jones got re-signed. They have a solid defense. Like, this is still a very solid roster, not to mention they have a great head coach in Kevin O'Connell. So I disagree very much with Colin on that. But the quarterback situation, what's happening here? Is it going to be J.J. McCarthy stepping as a rookie, or is it going to be an Aaron Rodgers, right? Or another veteran quarterback that they sign, or Russell Wilson, if you will. So I'll say this much. With the Vikings, if it's J.J. McCarthy and him just being a rookie quarterback, then at that point, I really don't have a problem putting them last, just because, hey, it's a rookie quarterback. He might struggle. You could kind of see it happening. I never bought the Vikings as a serious team last year. I know they were solid, but as far as like, hey, they were never, to me, Super Bowl contenders. But it's a good football team, all right? But there's a non-zero chance. You certainly could see them be last, all right, because of a rookie quarterback. If they get a veteran quarterback, chances go up. Take a look at the Packers here. The Packers with Jordan Love and company. Look, the Packers, to me, are such an enigma. Like, they don't make sense to me at all. Like, I don't care much for their weapons on the outside with their receivers. Like, Christian Watson's going to be out now, and then you got Jaden Reed, Romeo Doubs, and Dontavian Wicks. And no disrespect to my Packers, not fans. I probably don't have any Packers fans, but fans of the Packers, no disrespect to them. I just feel like you don't have anything on offense that scares me. It really doesn't. Tucker Kraft, like, come on. And Jordan Love, to me, I've never been fully in on Jordan Love. I think he's a solid but not spectacular quarterback. The only guy I'm sold on with the Packers is their head coach, Matt LaFleur. I think Matt LaFleur is as elite as it gets. And the Packers have a solid offensive line. So to me, I really don't buy the Packers as much. I take the Vikings roster over the Packers. All right, I just want to give my thoughts here before I give you guys my pick. And then finally, we come to the Bears, right? The Bears finished last season with 5 wins. It was a disaster. Let's turn the page. We got Ben Johnson now. To me, yes, It's the same thing, right? You win the offseason, but will anything change as far as the regular season? I believe the change is Ben Johnson. If you guys follow my channel, you should know at the beginning of last season, yes, I was optimistic like most Bears fans are, but I was very much annoyed about the Bears keeping Matt Eberflus because Matt Eberflus was holding this roster back. And Matt Eberflus was not supposed to be the head coach. He should have been canned last season. Now, thankfully, it worked out for us because we got Ben Johnson, all right? But I was never in on Matt Eberflus. And so to me, yes, the difference in having an elite head coach, which I believe Ben Johnson will be, is going to be significant. And just to prove it to you, you take a look at a guy like a Sean McVay who won 4 games. All right, 4 games the season before Sean McVay came, the Rams did, and then they go to 11-5. All right, so you can have that big of a turnaround with an elite coach. Now, of course, you need a good roster, but the Bears did that. They addressed the offensive line. They addressed the defensive line. They went ahead and, upgraded the team, and it's year 2 for Caleb Williams. Like, I really see the upward trajectory for the Bears. So, love that for them. Here's the problem. The schedule. The schedule is brutal, folks. I know we don't have the order here, but just taking a look at the account as far as the teams we play. This is just on the road. We play the Eagles, the Commanders, the Ravens, the Niners, the Bengals. All right? And then at home, you got the Cowboys and Steelers. So not to mention the division opponents with the Lions twice, the Packers twice, Vikings twice. It's a brutal schedule. All right? So that, to me, kind of lessens the chances here for the Bears. So I just want to point that out. All right, the schedule is brutal. If we had an easier schedule, I would have felt better, but we had an easy schedule last season. You saw how that went. So I say all that to say this. Lions at number 1. I don't think anyone disagrees with that. And then at number 2, look, until we actually do it, I'm not going to go ahead and say it. I think you got to go ahead and probably put the Packers at 2. I'd put the Bears at 3, and I'd put the Vikings at 4. And again, I told you, if the Vikings have a rookie quarterback, that's where I think they could struggle, just him being in his first year. But if they sign a veteran quarterback, then I'd flip it and I'd still have the Bears at 4th. And it's just because, look, I want them to earn it, go out there and do it. Again, they could literally go from 5 wins to 9 wins and still finish last in the division because it's the toughest division in football. So to me, that's just the reality of the situation. It sucks. I wish we were in an easier division, but we're not. So to me, Bears probably finish 3rd or 4th. I'd love to say 2nd, but man, that leap sometimes is really hard, and it's Ben Johnson's first season, so I want to give him a little bit more time. All right, so that's where I'm at with this, folks. That's the scenario I see. The Bears could be 3rd, they could be last again. But again, even if they're last, improved win total. No way we're winning 5 games. We can go up to 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's just a tough division, tough schedule, tough division. Hopefully I'm wrong. I've never wanted to be more wrong than when I picked the Bears again to not be as good. But love Colin Cowherd being optimistic. If the Bears finish 2nd in the division, no one's going to be happier than me and other Bears fans. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Where do you see the Bears finishing in the division next season? It's way too early. I'll give you guys more predictions as we get towards the closer to the season. But just wanted to give you guys my quick thoughts and reaction on this. So leave a comment down below with your thoughts as always. Thanks for watching.